Hello, 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 hello.
Sa ano na yun, St. Catherine. Yung una ko, PCU. Ang sunod ko, sinabi ko yung sa kabila naman. Wala na ba tayong ano? Wala na pa ba tayong... Kaya sila serve yan? Hingi ako, kailangan nyo ng ano? Teka.
Check, check. Check, one, two. Mic, check,
Kom,
one.
meron pa po tayong
Check,
ganito.
check.
Pahawak ko lang po sa... Sige po, thank you po.
Check, check. One, two, one,
Kailangan nyo
two,
ng
one,
ganito?
two, one,
Kailangan nyo ng ganito? Hindi, hindi na kayo hawak. Hindi na? Okay.
one, two, one, two, one, two,
Para,
one,
ayun yung kita.
one, two, one, two, one, two, one, two, one, two, one, two, one, 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 one. May narinig ako, pero parang may one, two. Check, malakas.
Check, 1, 2.
Okay lang po bababaan. Bababaan po. Hello, 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 hello. Ayan, okay na po yun sa akin. 1, 2, 3, 4. Parang may ano po, may
Check,
sting.
check. 1,
May
2, 3, 4.
Ay, parang may
Static.
may static pala. Mic check, 1, 2.
Parang may
Mic
ground.
check, 1, 2. Mic 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 check, 1, 2. Meron pa rin. Yung static. May static.
Parang ground.
Oo nga. Ganito rin kaya sa live? Hindi ganito sa live? Sound check, 1, 2, 3, sound.
Kasi baka mamaya rinig sa live eh.
Kaya dahil kinoconsider din nila. Dahil na kinoconsider.
Mic check, 1, 2. 1, 2. Another another day, another set of basketball games await us at the inaugural season of the Far East Basketball League. Welcome to game day. All right.
Kami naman.
Welcome to game day number 2.
Meron pa din.
Another day, another set of basketball games await us. Ano nawala kami?
No, yan, bumalik.
Ayan. Wala na, wala na. May boses kami pero wala na yung static. Wala na static. Ayan. Yo. Live here at the 1, 2. Mic check, 1, 2, 3.
Mic check. 1, 2,
Another
3,
day, another
4.
set of
1,
basketball
2, 3,
games
4.
here at the Central Recreation and Fitness Center live at Quezon City. We are bringing you the inaugural season of the Far East Basketball League. Kami naman. Presented to you by Nature's Spring, Fat Boys Pizza, and Easy Jersey Outfitter. We'll be seeing the game schedule in just a bit. I'd also like to take note of the action that is about to happen, because for the first time in a long while, we will be witnessing Blah, 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 blah. Sorry, ano to? Sports ground. Alright. Together with our official broadcast partner, that's Net 25 and Sports Ground.
Sir James.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Kinoconsider din nila na isang kaya naman mas
Wildcats. Dolphins, Wildcats. Dolphins, Wildcats. Dolphins, Wildcats. You might forget
Yeah.
the moniker. Because if I mention College of St. Catherine, I'm not gonna
Yeah.
give the moniker anymore. I'm just gonna say that.
Yeah, yeah.
Diba? Kasi parang,
Oh.
just so I won't get like confused.
Yeah. Because that's gonna take longer.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Airdrop.
This is 30 seconds is fine.
Bawat team na naririto, salamat po sa pagpapaundak na sumali kayo sa first season po ng FEBL. Salamat po sa pagtitiwala nyo. Pinapangako namin, lalo pa namin pagagandahin po ang ligang ito hanggang matapos po.
Or you go straight.
Yeah.
Gives it Zodiacal with a quick goal! Gets that shot to go! Zodiac.
Another day, another set of basketball games await us here in the collegiate season of the very first Far East Basketball League. Kami naman, this is once again presented to you by Nature Spring, Easy Jersey Outfitter, and of course, Fat Boys Pizza. My name is Hans Galeria, and together with me bringing the action is Coach Anton De Los Reyes, and we will also be joined by our courtside reporter later, Miss Angelica Sarmiento, to bring you the very first four-header that we will be having in the FEBL.
So that is correct. We do have a quadruple header for today, and we are going to start off with these two teams. Hans?
Yeah, I mean, I'm very excited, especially when you take a look at the team schedule that we will be witnessing in just a bit. Napakarami ng mga naganap, especially during the very first game day. And I have to tell you, Anton, this is such a cool moment to see na yung game number 1 or yung game day number 1 natin all ended in probably like tight single-digit games, right?
It could have gone into overtime. It could have, we could have stretched that first game.
Yup, and speaking of stretch, we're going to stretch it even more by adding one more game to it, because in just a bit, you saw some of those games that we had. It's going to be the Philippine Christian University, who just got their first victory, the PCU Dolphins, going up against the College of St. Catherine Wildcats, who are still looking for the win number 1. So sundan naman yan ng Angeles University Foundation together, going up against the Polytechnic University of the Philippines.
Then we do have Pamantasan Lungsod ng Pasig against Philippine International College. That's at 1 p.m. And PMI Colleges rounding out against Rizal Technological University at 3 p.m.
That is nice to see. We're going to be witnessing 3 new teams that will be competing for the season's FEBL that we haven't really seen from them in game day number 1. Major issues, major changes are going to be showcased right over here. But at the same time, we would like to witness and put emphasis on game number 1. The match number 1 is going to be against the Wildcats, going up against the Dolphins. The College of St. Catherine, this team has showcased their really good defensive skilling and output. But before we talk about them even further, there's a total of 10 teams participating in the said FEBL.
Yeah, that's correct. We have Arandia College, Pamantasan Lungsod ng Pasig, to name a few that are going to be joining this tournament.
Yep, and in addition, we're going to be seeing a bit more from them later on, but you're finally seeing the Wildcats of the College of St. Catherine, Quezon City, and they really have showcased that they have what it takes defensively, but they have to do some major improvements, especially on the offensive end.
That's correct. They had a shooting slump in their first game. 19 out of 54 field goals, 36%, 7 out of 26 from the three-point area, 27%, 7 out of 17 from free throws for 41%. And if you look at it, it was a close game. It was won by 1 point. So had they gotten more free throws, just 3 of those free throws, they would have won that ball game, Hans.
I mean, you were witnessing 2 of their key players from a while ago. That's Ron and Sila, and we're seeing Tobal here wearing number 7 for CSC. Probably major key factors for this team, right?
That's correct. Mark Tobal, 9.7 rebounds, close to a double-double, was the person that helped out, or the player that helped out Ron and Sila, you mentioned. He had 13 points, 5 out of 9 field goals, 55% for that ball game against AUF.
Unfortunately, he was the only one from the team that has managed to score double digits for the College of St. Catherine Wildcats. But moving forward, onto the other side are the PCU Dolphins, looking to extend their streak to 2 straight games. And I can tell you that this team has been well-rounded from start to finish in game number 1.
Suffocating defense, that was the glaring statistic that PCU showed in their first game against RTU, forcing them to 24 turnovers, scoring 27 points off of those turnovers. You did mention they are a well-rounded team. They do have a lot of firepower in terms of players.
And in addition, the main flamethrower of that team is Castor Troy Manipolo. Right here, you're going to be seeing it on your screens. The man, or should I say money polo, because he shoots money just like it is.
He does have that beautiful mid-range game, scoring 21 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists, and 4 steals during that ball game against RTU.
Not only that, you're also going to have to take note of Mike Romero wearing number 99. You're seeing him in just a bit over there, but at the same time, he has contributed in the same way para sa koponan ng PCU wearing number 99.
So Mike Romero, 19 points, 8 rebounds. 6 of those 8 are from the offensive glass. So you gotta love the motor and you know how he works the offensive glass for Coach B-Boy Simon's PCU Dolphins squad.
Hindi lang yun kasi kailangan mo ring ma-take note kung ano ba ang posible niyang gawin. Going up against a team that also shares the same agility, same speed kumpara sa lahat ng ating mga makikita. And I'm sure that our courtside reporter will be saying a lot about both of these teams. So we will now be throwing it over to Angelica Sarmiento.
After winning in their first game, ayaw nga makampante ng PCU Dolphins. Kaya naman sinigurado nila na mas pinagbutihan nila ang kanilang ensayo ayon sa kanilang team captain Christian Austria. At dahil nga ilang beses din nilang nakaharap ang St. Catherine Wildcats at kahit papano alam na nila kung paano ito haharapin. Sa kabila naman puspusan din ang naging ensayo ng St. Catherine dahil nga alam nila na lamang ang mga ito sa when it comes to height, babawiin daw nila ito sa sipag at bilis ng kanilang depensa at kagaya nga ng laging sinasabi ni Coach Max, always play hard, play discipline, and trust God.
Maraming salamat, Miss Angelica Sarmiento. Just like what she said, for CSC, they are very much aware that there really is the height advantage coming in from PCU. Pero we saw them going up against tougher competition right from game number 1.
So that is correct. That is what we're going to see again. Speed, agility. That's what we're going to look out for first for St. Catherine.
We're going to witness St. Catherine, or the College of St. Catherine, go up against the Philippine Christian University as we throw it over to our Barker, Gio Cruz. In just a bit, we will be seeing Philippine Christian University, or the PCU Dolphins, go up against the College of St. Catherine, Quezon City, the Wildcats, in their first game of game day number 2 in just a bit. Magbabalik po kami dito lamang sa FEBL Season 1.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to New Era Central Recreation and Fitness Center for the continuation of Far East Basketball League Season 1. It's the first game featuring College of St. Catherine, Quezon City, up against PCU Dolphins. And now let's meet the starters, beginning with College of St. Catherine, Quezon City. Starting guard number 8, Ron Ancila. Other guard number 17, Kurt Miranda. Small forward number 7, Mark Tubal. Power forward number 26, Job Opalius. And at center number 16, JP Baldilovan. College of St. Catherine head coach is Clark Arroyo. And now let's meet the starters from the PCU Dolphins. At point guard number 4, Christian Austria. Shooting guard number 22, Troy Manipolo. Small forward number 10, Lionel Failon. Power forward number 27, Hans Lieva. And at center number 25, Aaron Zita. Head coach of the PCU Dolphins, Oscar B-Boy Simon. Our game officials, crew chief, Carlos Sebastian. Umpire 1.
A lot of the starting lineups have already been mentioned, as we are finally taking a witness to the PCU Dolphins go up against the side of the College of St. Catherine Wildcats. You're seeing the lineups right there on your screens. For CSC, this is Job Obalia's first start here in the FEBL season. Lawrence Bandojo has been moved to the bench, but so far for PCU, they have made 2 incredible additions with Aaron Zita and also another player being added into the starting lineup, which is none other than Hans Lieva. Again, this is game day number 1, and the miss has been started off by the side of PCU.
So talking about those types of adjustments made by Coach Max Encila, he mentioned to me earlier when I was talking to him, they're going to focus on defense to be able to get their rhythm, which is something that is not, it's a common thing that coaches would say for you to work on your defense or to focus on defense, because that offense will come. They also worked on their free throw percentage and shooting, because I did mention at the top of our broadcast, they are having difficulties in terms of conversions. They are able to execute, just not able to convert. He mentioned also to trust the system.
Yep. I mean, the balance is going to be needed here for the Wildcats, right? They were playing exceptional defense in game number 1 going up against AUF. Kaso yung naging problema is how they managed to get their opportunities on the offensive end, as a foul is going to be called against the Wildcats, called on Tubal, wearing number 7, under the act of shooting. So they're going to be giving free throws to the player of the game from their very first one. It's Troy Manipolo.
You gave a good moniker to Caster Troy. You called him Money Man.
That's Money Man.
Money Man Manipolo. It's quite fitting because he does have that excellent mid-range game to speak of. That is cash money. Very, very simple. One dribble pull-up gets it, more often than not, gets it to go. He did have 45% shooting clip in their last game.
You know, that is exceptional considering that there were a lot of people guarding him right from the start. Tubal tries from the right side, not going to be effective as the one on the left. Now PCU is going to try to run. Good defensive possession coming in from the side of CSC. There will now be 18 seconds para dito sa kupunan ng PCU to execute their gameplay.
So nice active hands there, disrupting the pass. What could have been a potential 2-point conversion for PCU.
Failon being hounded here. He gets it to Manipolo. That's his shot. Kind of contested though, but here's Zita receiving it. First start First 2 points for Aaron Zita.
So Aaron Zita did not see action in their last win against RTU, making his presence felt on the offensive glass. So can you imagine this? You have Mike Romero, who has a nose for the offensive rebound, and then you have Aaron Zita, another long, athletic player.
And he's he's going off the bench for the second time. Man, what a luxury.
I was gonna say, what a luxury to have Mike Romero come off the bench, or someone like Mike Romero, a player of his caliber, come off the bench.
Yep, that is insane to speak of. This time it's Tubal again. He's had 2 shots. He's gonna try again. This time it's gonna be another miss for Tubal. That's already 1 for 3 from the Rainbow Country. This time around, it's gonna be Lieva. Also the first start for the guy. Ito ang pinakauna niyang simula in the FEBL Season 1. Hopefully, he can make an impact. Austria, a household name for the Dolphins, tries the defense and he gets it to go.
What a leaner by Christian Austria, scoring 12 points in their last ball game, doing the damage.
You know, Encila's gonna have to put in the work today because most of the competitors or opponents that he's gonna be having, mas matangkad talaga sa kanya. It's always going to be like that. So Encila, the captain of the Wildcats, is really going to have to find a way to lead his team to victory.
That's something that he has to take on as a challenge, especially you mentioned he is the smaller point guard or guard here in this tournament.
Tubal is going to be out. That's Evans finally joining in the party for the Wildcats. Good block from Baldelovar here. Encila skip pass going over to Miranda, and that is 2 points for Miranda.
So Miranda getting that 2 points to go. Great find by his teammate, but I gotta commend that defense by Baldelovar. Went straight up.
Yeah, I mean, Zita was probably a bit more athletic than him, but at the same time, hindi siya napigilan nun, hindi siya nagpadaig dun sa leaping ability. Good defense from Encila, just swarming Manipolo. Skip pass and another block coming in this time around from Oballes, the big man of CSC, putting in work.
So you gotta like that they're doing that work early in this ball game. We did mention that they do have this type of defense. So let's see. We want to see this type of intensity all throughout the ball game. Talking about St. Catherine Wildcats.
Miranda now is going to be trying once again. And Miranda's going to bring them the lead right back. It is already 7-6 is the score. It is finally the side of CSC taking the lead over the Dolphins.
So great jumper, great looking jumper by Miranda. We did talk about Castor Troy Manipolo getting those mid-range jumpers to go. Miranda from the Wildcats showing he can also do that.
Good patience on the defensive end coming in from Evans, but couldn't really get a hold on the basketball. Meanwhile, itong si Miranda, Coach Anton, 4 points yung kanyang in-score in the first game. And then now, he has naitablan na niya yung score niya in just the first quarter alone.
So he already has his average and no doubt probably going to get more in this ball game.
Valdelovar was looking for Encila on the right side. Yung problema lang dun, merong maraming tumatapik dun sa bandang likuran. So this time around, it's Bandojo finally joining action. Lalabas muna itong si Valdelovar. You know, Oballes is gonna get some extended minutes, and you really love that for the guys playing good defense.
Yes. You like to get rewarded for the defense that you're showing, and that's what Oballes is getting right now, getting rewarded with more minutes.
Bandojo, first touch on the basketball. He's gonna get it back. Tries the jumper. That is sweet. Lawrence Bandojo.
Lawrence Bandojo, he scored 1 point in their game, but now 2 points. So most of the players ng St. Catherine above their first game scores.
And look at this. Another offensive possession. That is Bautista, one of the starters from their game.
We talked about Oballes doing it on defense, getting that block.
He did it again. Napako sa 6 na puntos ang kupunan ng PCU. Encila finding Miranda on the corner for the 3. Too strong. Encila tries to go at it. Evans with a quick hand. They get a fresh 14. Encila now. Bandojo, ilalagay yung screen. Lilipat sila ngayon kay Obalias. And then to Evans. 3 seconds left. He's going to try to force this one out. Not a lot of time left. A turnover for the Wildcats.
So both teams now forcing the other team to shot clock violations. That's a testament to the defense that we're seeing in today's ball game.
9-3 is the score in favor of CSC. Magbabalik kami for the continuation of the first quarter.
Turnover pagbalik. Report.
Back in action we go. It is the side of CSC leading 9-3, going up against Troy Manipolo and the side of PCU. And I'm talking about Troy Manipolo here, the money man. We have a bit more information from him courtesy of Miss Angelica Sarmiento. Angelica?
Palang si Troy Manipolo ay nilagay na daw ng kanyang mommy ang paligid ng kanyang crib ng basketball ring. Kaya naman bata pa lang ito ay hindi na siya nahiwalay sa basketball at talaga namang hindi na nakakapagtaka ang kanyang performance. He also shared na his dad, who is now a policeman, used to play basketball kaya naman ganun na lang ang kanyang suporta. In fact, his dad drove all the way here to watch his game.
Maraming salamat, Miss Angelica Sarmiento. You are seeing Troy Manipolo's dad on your screens in just a few seconds ago. And Coach Anton, you probably, have a say in this dahil yung umpisa pa lang daw na pagkabata ni Manipolo, pinaligiran na daw ng basketball ring yung crib niya. How do you feel about that?
Well, there was this study now, a psychologist, what he did was he had 3 daughters and he made them play chess at a very early age. I think 4 years old, 3-4 years old, and they all became geniuses. And one of those kids is actually the best women's chess player today. We'll give you the name of that if you want to know. But it's just a testament that if you start your kids young, start them early, expose them to this kind of environment, there is a high likelihood that they will excel.
Yep, excelling at the early game is very important, which is why when you return to this game, both of these teams are executing very well in terms of their offense and defense pretty early dito sa matchup na ito. A block has happened there for PCU as Pascua is gonna try Bandojo's defense. Manipolo doesn't get the money on that shot, and Sila with the rebound. Miranda going up against Troy, and Troy will win that battle in the sky. Manipolo will try his best. He goes for Filon and then moving it over to the right side. Paswa couldn't get the finish, but the problem is they were still scrambling for it. And then all of a sudden, there it is now. It is going to be Baldelovar, I believe, that absorbed that rebound. Si Filon ang matatawagan ng first personal at that moment.
But you see the offensive rebounding of PCU in full effect. That was 3 offensive rebounds for them. You want them to be able to execute, but you also got to commend the fact that they're able to work the offensive glass.
Bulilis also joining the action. He was welcomed rudely by the side of PCU, but good steal now from Baldelovar. The big man bringing the ball coast to coast, bringing it to Miranda. It was just a sorry miss, and now Pascua receives it. Will they set it up? Austria will say yes. Kalma muna tayo. Sabay lipat on the left side. Chicken wraps, and there goes the floater. Not gonna happen there. It's Bulilis fighting for that rebound, and he gets it. He's gonna be fouled now by the side of PCU. Malayo pa sila sa penalty, coach.
That's Lionel Filon getting called for that foul. Hip check. So sometimes you have to be, again, I always mention this, you have to be disciplined on defense. If you don't get there on time, do not reach and do not use your hips to para habulin yung offensive player.
Derek Daluz joining the team for PCU, finally coming in handy here. The defensive specialist of Coach B-Boy Simon, if I should say. Daluz coming through for that possession. Turnover para sa Wildcats.
So in their last matchup against James Toralba, Derek Daluz did a good job for stretches in that ball game against Stephen Toralba.
You know, he only scored 2 points in that game. Maybe he can extend it in this one. And that's exactly what happens.
Making Hans look good is Derek Deluz with that three-pointer.
He now has more points than the first game.
Double.
Yeah, he probably is going to double it very soon. But look at the strength of this guy. Welcome, Aris Patenia to this game, getting his first 2 points.
Where's Patenia? 5 points in their last ball game. Ngayon, 2 points out with a chance to get his get 3 points the traditional way.
Obioha finally joining the party, but I want to go back to Aris Patenia. Huwag kang magpapalin lang sa frame ng batang ito. He might not have all of the cuts that you want in terms of the body shape, but he is a bona fide bruiser, if I should say.
So that is one of those things, a bit surprising because he isn't yung thick, but he likes to...
he loves to absorb contact.
Yes,
Coach.
he likes to mix it up inside.
Obioha now gets it to Manipolo. Hold up. All right, that's another one of those. Everybody's, you know, low-key bumping each other. Just want to make sure to not really get a hold of their emotions.
It's nagpapakilala.
Yep.
Like what we like to say, nagpapakilala lang yung
It's
mga
like,
players sa isa't
hello,
isa.
hello.
Yes. Papakilala lang sa isa't isa.
And unfortunately, since the College of St. Catherine is already at the penalty situation, sa PCU, papabor ang pagkakainitan na yun. So Pascua is going to be shooting 2 free throws. And D'Angelo Pascua has, I believe, had the starter nod from game number 1. But at the same time, but on the other hand, ngayon, hindi niya nakuha yan. Pero yung tuloy-tuloy naman ay yung kanyang free throws. It's 4 for 4 now for Pascua.
So 1 point below his average kasi 5 points, 1 game pa lang. So 5 points is Pascua.
Now, it's Patenia faking it, tries to go inside. My goodness! Was that a Pinoy step I saw?
Yes, that is a Pinoy step. Something that is in the bag now of a lot of our players.
This time, it's Obioha against Bandojo. Pascua on the right corner. Nilipat nila kay Manipolo. And that's another foul against Encila. He couldn't believe it. Encila, I believe that's the second personal foul. And again, penalty. Wala pa nung 4 na minuto nitong larong to, Coach. In the first quarter, they have already struggled by giving PCU a lot of free throws.
Well, it can only mean one of 2 things. One is they're playing high-pressure defense. That's why they're getting those, they're in the penalty early. Or they're not being disciplined on defense. So it's one of those 2 things that they need to work on. I'm pretty sure head coach Max Encila will definitely address that in between quarters.
Castor Troy Manipolo, 3 free throws. All of his 3 points have come from the 3-point line. Nadagdagan yun. And they are now back in the lead. 14-13 is the score. Si Miranda ngayon ang magbababa ng bola. Encila will go right back to the bench. And Diaz Jr. finally joining the fray in this first quarter. Pailona also joining in. He's going to get the ball back. 8 seconds left in the shot clock. Bandojo for the 3. Not going to work that time. Pascua with the rebound. They're going to try to run it back. And Manipolo, nagmamadali siya ngayon. And again, another foul from the Wildcats. They cannot believe what is happening right now. Another set of free throws from the pretty perfect D'Angelo Pascua from the charity stripe. Oh, sorry. That's Troy Manipolo, who's also made all of his points from the free throw line.
That is correct. 3 points for Castor Troy Manipolo, all coming from the stripe. Now, I always mention this. Do not give the referees a chance to blow their whistle by reaching in, because obviously with referees, it's a game of angles. So sometimes it may be clean, but because of the angle that they have, they may call that foul on you. So just to be safe, be disciplined, do not reach in.
Kumbaga, gamble din kasi yung
Yes.
pasundot-sundot na yun. It really is depending on the angle. And because of a specific angle, it is now the side of PCU Dolphins that are leading by 2. It's 15-13. Magbabalik po kami for the 45 seconds of the first quarter. You are still watching the Far East Basketball League. Kami naman, the very first season and the very first game of the second game day between the College of St. Catherine Wildcats going up against the Philippine Christian University Dolphins. They are still leading by 2 points. Pailona against the Luz. Ililipat kay Bandojo versus Obioha. At ayun yung angulo na sinasabi mo, Coach. He was trying to squeeze in from the front, but the referee was at the back.
Yes. So again, it is a game of angles talking about yung referee. So you have to also be able to adjust to that. Because again, the referee is not going to adjust to the player. The player needs to adjust to the referee and how they call this game.
Bandojo absorbs it. Getting it over to Papenia. Diaz tries the 3. Not gonna work that time. Manipolos playing this first entire quarter by himself now, the Luz. Asking everybody to settle down. Malyabo, kakasalang lang din dito sa ating laro. And then to Manipolo. Screen by Obioha, 8 seconds left. A turnover. Nagmamadali sila ngayon. Filona has it. Can he find a way? But the step was just a missed one. At doon matatapos ang ating first quarter at the end of the opening frame. The score is 15-13 in favor of the PCU Dolphins. Sa aming pagbabalik ay ang simula ng second quarter. Back in the ball game we go. We are still watching the very first game of game day number 2 here at the Far East Basketball League between the CSC Wildcats versus the PCU Dolphins. My name is Hans Galeria, together with Coach Anton De Los Reyes and Angelica Sarmiento on courtside. Opening frame of the second quarter, Papenia tries to go at it, and look at Bandojo and his length down under.
So Bandojo getting that offensive rebound to go. Had his man commit to that drive of Patenia.
This time it's Manipolo. Good pass. It was just a little too strong. Now Bandojo tries to go to the left. Gets it right back, and he gets 4 straight points.
Picture perfect fast break offense being shown by St. Catherine, sharing the rock.
Quick 4-0 run para dito sa Wildcats, and they are now leading by 2. Romero, one of the star players of that very first game, commits that turnover. This time it's Patenia na naman. Deals with the sidestep, and now there is another one of those points coming in from Laguera.
So that's a quick 6-0 run para dito sa St. Catherine
They're
Wildcats.
playing quick.
Yes. Cat quick ang Wildcats.
I mean, you have to give it to them at this point. The tenacity of this team. Malyabo
Tries from distance, not gonna work. Obioha this time, not gonna work as well. Even Romero's put back ay hindi rin gagana. Diaz is gonna be called for a foul, but to think that, he has a lot of players who are taller than him, he's using his size to just get a lot of space under the basket.
I gotta mention this. Before he got that offensive rebound and that foul, he actually tapped that ball to Obioha. Obioha missed. He was able to get that offensive rebound and get it again. So that's like 3 offensive rebounds if you're going to
and make it 4.
Yeah, well, there you go.
Make it 4. Finally, Diaz Jr. gets it. He is up for a day in this game. But at the same time, he's doing a good job. As long as they don't score, it doesn't matter how many opportunities they get. And I think that's what he's trying to do. Kumbaga, istorbohin mo lang ng malala yung kalaban.
Yes, that's all you need to do actually. Sometimes you just need to bother the shot. You don't need to get the block. You don't need to get the steal. All you need to do is disrupt the offense of your opponent.
Kasi kumbaga, coach, 'di ba? Kahit gaano karaming tira, kung hindi pumapasok, mas nasasayang din yung oras.
Yes.
Plus lamang pa kayo in this scenario, right?
That's
so
correct.
That's a win-win situation for him either way, but that's Obalies medyo stranded on. Fader from Patenia, but he's gonna run out of time. This time it's PCU finding their way on defense.
So anything you can do, St. Catherine, we can do it better. Yan ang pinapakita ng PCU. Now, you mentioned earlier, Castor Troy Manipolo did not see any rest in the first quarter. That's not surprising because in their first game, 40 minutes.
Man,
ang linaro niyan ni Castor Troy.
He literally
Manipolo.
played the entire game.
He did.
That is insane. And now, he's finally getting some rest, coach. We don't see any signs of Troy Manipolo, the money man, in the start of the second quarter. But Mike Romero maybe can do something about it. But again, that's already multiple turnovers for number 99, man.
Yes,
off the bench,
pass.
too.
And yeah, off the pass, when he drives inside, maybe he's trying to do too much at this point. He needs to settle down.
Diaz now, crossover, looking at that mid-range is sweet like honey. Diaz Jr.
I always mention this, I love that mid-range game. One dribble pull-up just to get separation from your defender.
PCU, an unfamiliar situation at this point. The defense of CSC slowly working wonders for this team. Kailangan mo ring tingnan si Encila already suffering 2 personal fouls. So Austria will most likely engage. He's gonna try to do that. Nabaon lang sa ilalim ng board. Encila against Obioha. Finds Patenia right over there. Actually, that's Laguera for the 2 points. And my goodness, the Wildcats went wild on the first 3 minutes of action that we've seen. They kept PCU to nothing, and now they lead by 8.
They don't really contest that quickly. They don't close out that.
I mean, it was an incredible showing from the side of CSC. You were talking to me about how Laguera and the others have made their mid-ranges very, very well. I mean, you'd like to elaborate on that, right?
Well, I always mention that I like the mid-range game. It is something that is sort of like a forgotten art or forgotten game. But talking about Laguera, when he got that pass, his quick release, very, very important if you're a big. Reason being is when you're going up against another big, they don't close out that quick. So having that quick release is very, very important. And I can't take credit for that because that's something that Coach Ed Cordero, a coach that I've worked with when I was an assistant coach, he was the one who would always preach that to our players.
And I guess another that you need to preach is going to be about boxing out. They got hit here, CSC. Si Encila na naman ang may hawak ng bola. The lead is still at 8. Austria ang nagbabantay sa kanya ngayon. He's checking back into this ball game. Tubal gets it to Laguera. Mind you, Laguera's playing very well at this moment. Open look, not gonna work there para dito kay Obalias. Rebound ngayon para kay Maliabo. Austria will line up all of the Dolphins in. Maliabo on the left elbow. Kuha nitong si Obioha kontra kay Diaz. And then there's Maliabo again, finding some room. Doesn't get it, gets the offensive rebound. Romero turning around and almost a good block coming in from Obalias. But again, that's another foul para sa side ng CSC.
So getting called for that foul is Obalias, looking for his third block of the ball game.
I think this is also a disadvantage once you have those offensive rebounds, right? Mas maraming opportunities pero mas marami ring chances na mafa-foul mo.
Yes, that's what you're actually trying to limit. No, yung getting called for those fouls. And you also want to have more possession. So, sige, na-challenge mo yung offensive rebound, pero yung downside dyan is yung offensive possessions ng kalaban. And yan nga, another disadvantage is yung fouls, like what you mentioned. That is a good point that you raised, Hans.
And Coach, 10 points. 10 points is the total score of PCU at the free throw.
Wow.
Out of what? 17, 18 points, right? That is immense. Oh. And Obioha this time with a steal. Iiwan niya kay Austria ngayon. Couldn't get it to go, but Obioha was right there for the putback.
That wide body of Kenneth Obioha doing wonders on the offensive end, offensive glass, I should say as well.
Baldelovar now gets it to Encila. It is now the side of PCU making a 4-0 run of their own. 5 seconds to shoot now for the Wildcats. Baldelovar, he gets it to Encila, chucks up a 3. Not gonna work. Miranda giving them a fresh 14 sa pagkakataon na to. Losing the basketball was Baldelovar, but Miranda gets it, tries to go inside. Not gonna work. Turnover para sa CSC. At may buwelo na naman. Itong si Freight Train, Kenneth Obioha is gonna get it again. Not gonna work. Dip and pass. Palabas. But it's gonna go to Christian Austria. 10 seconds to shoot. This time it's Oh, that's Pascua. That's Pascua na unfortunately umalagwa because that's a traveling violation.
So Dan Pascua getting called dancing to the wrong song. Traveling violation. Bit too eager to get inside. Talking about Pascua, we know he can finish. You know? He likes to lead the fast break transition offense. So he's very capable. Medyo bit too eager lang on that possession.
Napako din sa 23 ang kupunan ng CSC. Maybe Obalias can change that. Not so much. But a foul is called against Tobal and the Wildcats. That's on number 7 again. I believe pangatlo na yan para dito kay Tobal, and they've been scoring very well, taking the lead carefully, but they have to take note of the fouls because that is where the scoring output from PCU is coming from.
Mark Tobal, that is his third personal foul, and you look at that, it was against Mike Romero. So he's really there cleaning and working the glass, talking about the rookie Mike Romero.
Encila against Austria, two captains going at it. This time it's Bulilis checking in. Encila, I believe, still scoreless in this game. He led the team by 13 points as of that moment. But you know what? I don't need to score if Baldelovar is like that.
Great looking shot by John Paul Baldelovar. This is one of the two players that head coach Max Encila mentioned that we need to watch out for, him and Kurt Miranda.
Obioha getting a block, or he was blocked by Baldelovar as of that moment. Momentum is now on the side of CSC.
Getting it done on defense as well is Baldelovar, and we always mention this, no, Hans? Your defense will trigger your offense.
Wanted to try again, not gonna work that time. Just a slight heat check from Baldelovar, immediately apologizing to the coaching staff. He knew that wasn't his position, but you know what?
That's okay.
Medyo swerte, coach eh.
Oo heat check. Heat check nga naman. There is such a thing as a heat check. But I can't say enough for, again, Mike Romero. He was the one battling for that rebound.
And now he gets the ball, passes it to Austria. The lose, and then to De Castro, who's finally joining the fray in this one. Hold up now. That is a foul against the side of PCU called by our officials.
I believe that foul was on Wesley Dulay.
That is.
So Dulay getting called for that loose ball foul.
Bolilis wanted to get it over to Baldelovar, but unfortunately it was too low. Yeah, Butterfingers, too low.
Yes. Combination of those two things.
Yeah. Siguro
resulting in that
naisip ni
turnover.
Encila na baka kahit niya lang din yung papasahan niya. But you know what? It's fine. They're still lead by 7. And they will still do, as Mike Romero is having an off game in the first half of this matchup. They're still at it. Leading by 7, 26-19. A final 2 minutes in. And a foul is called against the side of PCU. First foul now for Mike Romero, who, by the way, has only scored 2 points, and both of them coming from the free throw line.
Yes, so Mike Romero scored 16 points in their first game. So we're going to see if he's going to get going in the second half.
Look at Bulilis skying high for the 2 points. Bautista late to the party, as I would say.
So Bautista getting called for that foul, but Bulilis beating his man. Backdoor play. Napakaganda ng pinakita doon ni Bulilis. Napakabilis.
Multiple entries now from the side of CSC. They now have the biggest lead of the game at 10 points, 29-19, with 1 minute and 20 to go. But again, there are these moments. That's the second personal foul of John Paul Baldelovar, who has scored 3 points, but I feel like he's made more impact in this game than just those points.
So those are the intangibles, no? The hustle. He always has a hand on the ball. Like, he's always fighting for the rebounds. So you like to see that. And he's the one on defense. No? Siya yung nagpapakita. Siya yung nagsho-show to disrupt the offense ng PCU.
Now it's Diaz's turn. Manipolo has been off so far in the second quarter. Double team, all hands raised up. Good defense by CSC, but again, they're gonna have to do it one more time because the ball will go back to PCU.
Derek Daluz, double team na yan. He tried to squeeze in there and get that layup to go. Di talaga kinaya. They just got lucky with that turnover.
Manipolo not getting it. And Diaz is gonna be called for a foul once again. At mukhang ito na yun, Coach. Penalty situation na yata. Ito na naman tayo. But fortunately for the side of CSC, kung kanina 4 minutes yung tinagal nila, ito, 1 minuto na lang.
1 minuto na lang. That is correct. And again, you see here, it's Mike Romero. Walang magawa si Diaz Jr. doon eh. Kasi alam niya na sa talunan, matatalo. That's why if you're undersized, you really need to practice your positioning, and you need to get down to the basics of boxing out your guy or your man.
Mike Romero adding 1 more point to his total of 3 points, all from the free throw line. Less than a minute to go in the first half. Miranda, screen from Bandojo. He gets it to Diaz. Yung pwestuhan na yan, yung talunan na sinasabi mo, he's gonna get rejected. And now it's the lose. Finding Diaz again. Here's the rematch. Romero wins it again. And now PCU getting the rebound. They're gonna charge in. The lose. Finding someone on the right, and that's Austria.
I gotta commend Mike Romero. Earlier, hinabol niya up top. Ito, alam niyang hindi niya maaabutan. He just had his hands up straight. kaya hindi na shoot ni Diaz triggered that fast break para sa PCU.
But Patenia gets his 6th point in the game, 2 seconds left, and that is also a rejection from Eris Patenia. Not in my house, says the man wearing number 19 from CSC. They lead by 9 big points, 31-22. CSC kontra sa PCU. We'll be back for the second half. You're currently witnessing the halftime stats here at the very first game of the second game day of the Far East Basketball League Season 1. PCU trailing by 9 kontra sa CSC. And to think that both of these teams shared the same attempts. Why do you think has PCU struggled to get their offense flowing and going in this game?
So one of those key factors is, of course, the defense that's being shown by St. Catherine, and a combination also yung, I guess it's yung gigil, right? There's that factor ng gigil para sa PCU. They're shooting 5 out of 31, 16.1%, habang ang CSC 14 out of 31, 45.2%.
And we were also talking about the height of PCU, right? Pero kung sisilipin mo, it's CSC that has more points on the paint than PCU.
At the top of the broadcast, speed. Speed nga daw ang ilalaban ng CSC. 9 out of 15 points in the paint, 18.60%, 3 for 17, 6 points naman para sa PCU.
Coach, it has been an amazing showing here from the side of CSC, especially when you take a look at some of their key players. You told me that for you, it's John Paul Baldelovar, right?
John Paul Baldelovar, he's not scoring as much, but his defense, the presence on defense is always there para sa CSC.
And the presence on defense was felt in the first possession as Bandojo gets the necessary block. He gets it to Miranda, na ililipat naman kay Bulilis. And then to Patenia, who has been speeding his way in. Bulilis lights up a 3, and that is good.
Bulilis getting that pass from his teammate at the wing, getting that 3 to go. And you gotta love that. We saw that during the warm-ups. Tristan Bulilis scored 9 points in their first game. He was warming up sa 3 points, and he was making those shots.
And as of the moment, you're really gonna have to take note of Bulilis, who has scored 9 points in their first game. He now has 6, so he's in pace to, maybe tie it or hopefully even beat it if he kind of goes at it once again. But again, we're so not used to seeing PCU on the other side, trailing by this much. But the side of CSC has done a very good job in terms of defense, really.
You gotta credit their defense. That the defense that they're showing in today's ball game, limiting PCU.
This time it's Austria who wants to go at it. Skip past to Malyabo and then to Filon. We haven't seen a lot from, honestly, right?
I was actually looking for Lionel Filon to get going in this ball game. 9 points, 12 rebounds in their first game. They're still shooting blanks is Lionel Filon for PCU.
Patenia. Diaz against Romero. Miranda finding some space. Short on that jumper. Makukuha ni Filon yan ngayon. Manipolo has been cold in this game. No field goal made. Can he change that? He's in the act of shooting, so is he? Yup, he is. So that only means that his points could possibly still come from the free throw line.
Up until this point, still free throws. That's no field goals yet for Castor Troy Manipolo. He's gone 4 of 6, now 5 out of 7. So all his 5 points? 4.
4 out of 7.
4 out, okay.
Because he missed on that one,
so
yeah.
he missed on that one.
And
So
now
I
he
was
made on that
looking
one,
down,
yeah.
I was looking down to check his stats, so he missed on that one.
Now he has 5 points, all from the free throw line. CSC really said, kung gusto mong pumuntos in this game, kailangan paghirapan mo.
Yes, you gotta work for those points, a free throw.
Baldelovar gets it to Patenia again, the speedster. Now to Miranda, faking it, finding someone. But Filon was right there, 3 seconds left. Baldelovar, bailout shot, no problem.
Broken play, and I thought that was a bad pass. But Baldelovar getting that loose ball, easy inside jumper.
Lead is at 13. Skip pass kay Romero sa loob. Not gonna work, he gets it again. All hands up, umbrella defense coming in from PCU. Ililipat nila ngayon sa kabila. That's a 3. Not gonna work. Good defense coming in from CSC. No matter how many opportunities you get the same result.
That was 3 opportunities para sa PCU. Dalawa from Mike Romero.
Hold up, that's a foul now against Troy Manipolo. You're slowly, feeling the frustration from one of the best players of this team.
And that's something that you don't want to see from your best player. When you see him getting frustrated, sometimes his teammates will also follow suit. Say, it's contagious, no? He's their leader. Talking about Caster Troy Manipolo.
Coach, mind you, none of our players have scored in double digits so far in this game.
So that's the kind of game that we're having. It's all about defense at this point.
It has been a very low-scoring ball game, to say the least. And Austria looks to bring his team to a comeback in this matchup. Ibibigay niya ngayon kay Manipolo and then to Romero. Troy goes to his left, finds the shot. Still doesn't have a field goal yet, but what can I say? Gumagana yung free throw eh. Let's just go back there.
And you mentioned he is going to get that done via the free throw line kasi nga papahirapan siya ng St. Catherine.
You know, Coach Anton, I am curious on what the halftime conversations were all about. So I want to hear it from Miss Angelica Sarmiento. Angelica, what's up?
Hi, Hans. We need to stop them until the end. Yan ang sabi ni Coach Max as they take over the first half. For the Wildcats to do that, they have to focus in their play with a stronger offense and trust each other. Dahil naniniwala siya na pag meron silang disiplina, makukuha nila ang panalo. And for the PCU Dolphins, Coach B-Boy is not happy to see his Dolphins na nagkakanya-kanya dahil pansin nga niya na pilit ang mga tira ng mga ito at wala ang execution ng kanilang offense. Kaya naman for them to bounce back, they need to stop relaxing and reminded them what they are here for. Hans?
Maraming salamat, Angelica. She said it best coming in from our coaches. Those forced shots from PCU are really what's causing them problems. Like, yes, nakakakuha sila ng free throws, but what if they don't?
So, nagkakanya-kanya. That is what head coach B-Boy Simon is not happy about. Para naman sa St. Catherine, disiplina. No? They need to see this through until the end.
Failon still couldn't buy a basket in this game, even if he wants to. The lead is still at 11 para sa Wildcats. And Sila back in the ball game. Irekta niya ngayon kay Bandojo, who has 5 points so far. 8 seconds to shoot. Miranda gets a screen. Finding Baldelovar, he tries again. Too strong in Sila. Right place at the right time. They get a fresh 10. Crossover to the right. Baldelovar finds Tubal. Faking it. Kaso nabitawan, and you know what that means. Traveling violation.
Mark Tubal a bit hesitant on that particular offensive set, and it is quite important. No? You have to be sure about what you're going to do with that ball. Otherwise, you will, worst comes to worst, that's what's going to happen. You will be called for a turnover.
Coach, we've seen Tubal as the opening pointer of this game ever since we haven't really seen him score a point. This time, Manipolo, no look pass from a few things, Coach. The big men are starting to take some shots away from the paint, but I guess we can leave that conversation for later because PCU is slowly cracking up a run. CSC needed a timeout, 36-29. They still lead by 7. Coach Anton, we are starting to see shifts now. Romero really forcing himself in the paint while the big men are starting to take outside shots for CSC.
So he's gotten settled in this ball game. Talking about Mike Romero, earlier he was getting those attempts inside, just wasn't falling. Pero now nagsettle down na siya. And you mentioned the Wildcats big men. Yes, medyo napapalayo na sila dun sa ginagawa nila nung first half, which was operating inside.
Although that's a traveling violation called against Romero, kumbaga, nakukuha mo na eh. Nagigets mo na kung ano yung gusto niyang gawin, which is to pound and pound and pound the paint as much as possible.
He does have the advantage and he knows it. I'm pretty sure head coach B-Boy Simon pointed that out to him during the half. Na advantage siya talaga doon. All he needs to do is just be patient, get inside.
Oh, look at that. Nice cut coming in from Obalias. Miranda was looking forward to pass it, but a kick ball violation was called against PCU. They have a fresh 14 para sa Wildcats. Inbound for Encila, finding Patenya down low. And this sneaky guy.
Knockout play. That's great patience as well. He went for that up fake, got that to go.
Coach, Eris Patenya leads all scorers now with 8 points. 8 points.
8 points
in the third quarter. But speaking of points, finally, Lionel Filon breaks his cold streak.
So we've been wanting to see Lionel Filon get in on the scoring act. He did so right there with a jump shot inside, or mid-range jumper.
Now it's Miranda. And then to Patenya with 5 seconds to shoot. And Sila's going to have to force it. He chucks it up. Touches the rim. And the ball will go back to the side of PCU with 1:30 to go in the third quarter. Papasok ngayon itong si Malyabo. Manipolo is going to check back out of this ball game. Coach B-Boy Simon instructing and enforcing his big guys to use their size. Dahil kung mapapansin mo, most of the guys that are part of the PCU 5 ay talagang brusko and they can enforce themselves in the paint. Filon not gonna work there. And there you have a foul, Coach Anton. Once again.
Who's on the line?
I mean, you probably know him even though he doesn't have a surname.
Yes, at the back of his jersey.
You know, it's Mike Romero going into the foul line pag may nakita kang na-foul sa ilalim ng basket.
But that's such a luxury because Filon, he was at the 15-foot line taking that mid-range jumper, had his man commit to him. He had to challenge, or the man of Filon challenged him. And that left Mike Romero to operate inside and get that offensive rebound. So talagang yung advantage is there, no, for the PCU Dolphins bigs, especially for Mike Romero,
who unfortunately missed 2 crucial free throws. He's made 3 before those 2. And he's gonna be stuck with 7 points in this game. Now it's Baldelovar finding Miranda, getting some space, and then leaves it for Obalias. Too strong. Man, Patenya! This guy is a sneaky guy. Sneaky Patenya, if I should say.
So Patenya getting that offensive rebound, beating Mike Romero.
Oh man, look at him playing on both sides of the floor. He's gonna try to go at it again, but an offensive foul is called against Obalias. Patenya already the first, or only the first player to score in double figures in this game because of how defensive oriented this game has been for both teams.
He is getting his game going. Talking about Eris Patenya, getting 4 points here in the third quarter, now has a total of 10 points in the ball game.
And they still lead by 9, 40-31, with 15 seconds to go. Austria for 3. Short. Obioha gets the offensive rebound, tries to sky at it, and gets the N1 opportunity.
Offensive rebound, and one possible three-point play. Double black eye for St. Catherine in that particular possession.
Skies through it. Caught or catches Baldelovar at a very difficult position. Obioha converting the end one. 7 seconds left. And you know who's going to try to go at it. Patenia misses. Still a chance, but Austria was probably not aware of how much time was still left. And that's how we're going to end the third quarter. PCU making a slight run to inch it back within striking distance. But CSC still with the lead, 40-34. You are watching the final quarter of the very first game of the College of St. Catherine of Quezon City Wildcats going up against the Philippine Christian University of Manila. The men in yellow have the lead, 40-34, to open the final quarter of this game. Still Hans Galleria, Coach Anton de los Reyes, and Angelica Sarmiento at courtside with you. And so far, it's Patenia and the others that have joined forces in a bad way over at the right elbow of our court. And that's a turnover. Pass to CSC.
So that's something that you don't want to see. Getting called for a turnover using that sideline as a third defender. PCU doing a good job on that defensive set.
Wide open was Malyabo in that one. Couldn't get it. He grabs his offensive rebound. Austria now tries to go inside. Leaves it for Obioha, and he likes that shot.
Nice drop pass by Christian Austria. Getting inside, dropping it off at the last minute for that short jumper for Kenneth Obioha.
And now the lead is down to just 4 points. CSC, kailangan nila ng sense of urgency now. They start to feel the lead dwindling down. 3 seconds left. Patenia absorbs it, and Malyabo with another block. Another stoppage para sa PCU, and Obioha, he finds the open lane. But another one of those offensive rebounds are going to happen. This time from Filon. And the lead is just down to 2 points. 40-38. My goodness, what a game this has been. And Coach, this has been a story of runs. And we see that now, this time, galing sa PCU.
And I am going to say that is correct. It is a game of runs, and sometimes it's not how you start, but how you end it. And fourth quarter, money quarter now para sa PCU Dolphins. Cutting the lead down to 2 points.
Baldelovar finding some spot, and Sila gets some space. Couldn't convert, but man, Patenia was there, tried to go for the one-hander, but it's not gonna work. But there is a man down. That is Christian Austria.
Got entangled there, or not entangled, but got that bump from Kurt Miranda. I don't think it was intentional. It was just hindi ka ready. I think he was surprised with that pick by Kurt Miranda. You're going to see it here.
Yeah, maybe we'll see it here now. There was the bump. Ooh.
The shoulder of Kurt Miranda.
Hits on the face. And, that was a lot of contact, but no call whatsoever. And there was still the continuation of play, but look at Patenya once again. The sneaky guy of CSC wanting to convert. Miranda gets it to fall for an end one.
So defense to offense, that's what we're seeing from St. Catherine, College of St. Catherine Wildcats. Eris Patenya getting that steal off of that pressure from Kenneth Obioha. So that's the right thing to do, no? To pressure Kenneth Obioha, because we all know Kenneth Obioha is very effective mga mid-range game, mga drop pass like what we saw earlier. Pero pagka yung mga he's that far out, it would be wise to give him or to have pressure on Obioha.
Alam mo, kanina pa sumusubok itong si Maliabo dun sa kanyang tres eh. But it hasn't really been falling so far. Clinton Maliabo hasn't scored just yet in this game. And, you know, he's had some open chances too. And to think na madalas na yun yung approach niya, then he's usually trying to shoot that, and he tries again this time. Still a miss.
So that's 0 for 6 now for Clinton Maliabo.
And he decides to go inside. That's how you approach a game.
Yes. That is something that for our younger players, no, if you want to get your game going, especially if you're a three-point shooter, minsan talaga it's not there yung 3 points. So you get your game going, and I know now yun sa, I think if you watch the NBA or if you watch yung mga clips ng NBA TV, they'll show you, no, Steph Curry tries to get his game going muna inside, tries to give out a good pass before he takes yung mga 3-point attempts. Obviously, of course, if it's there, he'll take it. Pero just to get himself going.
And again, offensive rebounds have been hounding CSC. And Sila finding Patenya. This time they want to go ahead. It's not going to work. Diaz, hounded by Obioha. Ngayon si Miranda naman susubok. Short, gets his own rebound. And a foul is going to be called. You know, it's very rare for CSC to get those offensive rebounds. Kaya ang sakit eh. Para sa PCU kapag sila yung nakukuhanan, kasi it's an automatic foul afterwards.
Yes. And rebounding, that department should belong to PCU. Because again, remember, they have the size advantage. You see, to address yung deficiency nila sa rebounds, you see Mike Romero checking in to the ball game.
Again, Coach, this has been a glaring problem para dito sa CSC. Their free throws, they haven't really converted as much of it in this game. It would have been a difference maker. I mean, they still lead by 4 now, pero ganun ba kataas to kung sakaling they've converted most of it?
Again, it would be a close ball game, no, closer, or they would have been in the lead pala, sorry, had they converted more on their free throws.
Manipolo sitting on it. Not gonna work. It's been an ice-cold night for the money man. Bank is not open on a Saturday, unfortunately. Some open on Saturdays, but you know,
if it's in
not
the
his
mall.
bank. Yeah, Bandojo. This time it's in Sila with 5 seconds to shoot. Will he try to go at it? Finds Patenya, the hot hand. Not gonna work. Obioha will be receiving the basketball. Dulay gets it to Obioha. May buelo na naman. The freight train goes at it, and he gets the 2 points.
So that's what you want to see, to set up Kenneth Obioha that way, no? Drop pass, pagka medyo nakabuelo siya, yan ang effective para kay Kenneth Obioha.
9 points now para dito kay Kenneth Obioha. He leads his team, and he's the spark plug needed. As I would say it, the freight train coming into action. Bandojo and Sila lights it up again. Not gonna work. Look at Patenya. My goodness. Coach, I don't know. I don't know where he's coming from. I don't know.
You gotta before he got that rebound, there was a control tap by his teammate, and that was from Kurt Miranda. If you look at there on the look at the slow-mo, tapping it to his teammate. Pero yung free throws talaga, medyo masakit yan.
And again, the score is 45-41 is the score right now. Crucial 4-point lead. Manipolo, iniwan na naman kay Obioha. Favorite shot, but that time does not work. Overthrow to Miranda. Can he find a way? He gets his own rebound. Not gonna work that time. But hold up, that's a foul. Called against Miranda. He was kind of like shell-shocked with it because it was the farther official that called it.
It was the referee at the back who actually called that foul. But again, it's one of those things, no? It's a game of angles to, to the defense of our referees. It's a game of angles. So, minsan talaga, depende yung pwesto ng referee kung pipito o hindi.
This time, PCU a chance to cut it to a single possession lead. The lose. He got on the lose. But Romero was caught red-handed. It's an illegal screen, an offensive foul para sa Dolphins.
So again, this is where discipline comes in, no? When you're playing defense, especially in setting those picks, you have to wait for your teammate. No, you have to stay still.
Tubal back in the ball game. He has missed a couple of minutes here, but Patenia racing himself. He gets gets his offensive rebound. And he fights for it. But hold up. Trying to contest it, man. Eris Patenia.
Yeah.
If you have Mr. Muscle, you can call him Mr. Hustle because he is just
He's
hustling.
he's all over the place para dito sa St. Catherine. Being at the right place at the right time, helping his team's cause.
This time it's the lose. Finding Austria, checking back in this ball game as well. The money man, step back Jay. Not gonna work. Patenia just, you know what? I'm gonna grab it for myself. He gets another rebound. Less than 4 minutes to go in this game. Baldelovar to Patenia. Mr. Sneaky goes to the right side. And Sila lights it up. Not gonna work. Romero absorbs it. This time it's the lose again. And then to Austria. Short once more. And Patenia getting another rebound.
So Eris Patenia getting the job done. And I saw him earlier signaling to his coach, sub daw. Medyo pagod na si Eris
He's feeling
Patenia.
it. He's feeling it.
Yes.
I mean, all that hustle would really take a toll in your body. But your coach, if your coach really trusts you, you're going to have to stay for then just a bit. But that's a blocking foul. Called against PCU. And coach, they already have 5 team fouls. So that is already a penalty situation, a rare one para sa PCU Dolphins.
So they are going to, talking about St. Catherine, they are going to go to the free throw line from here on in every foul called.
Timeout is called by the PCU Dolphins. 45-41 is the score. It is still the Wildcats with the lead. You're seeing the Philippine Christian University, the Dolphins, trailing by 4 in this really heated of a matchup that we've seen from start to finish. Coach B-Boy Simon instructing his boys to try to play while also, contesting yung ibang mga ganap, especially with how this game is going right here and there.
So head coach B-Boy Simon definitely giving all important instructions because it is 3 more minutes to go in this ball game. So, and they're just down by 4 points.
Coach Anton, believe it or not, Insila, the leading scorer of their first game against AUF, has just scored his first point today.
He was saddled with foul trouble, remember. So he picked up 2 quick fouls in the first quarter. Hasn't been able to get the rhythm.
Romero hounded by the defense. Obioha, 10 seconds to shoot para dito sa PCU. It's the Luz going to the right, shooting the midi. Not gonna work, pero bubuhayin yan itong si Romero. The Luz is gonna try again. Not working this time around. Valdelovar with a good box out. Bandojo with a rebound.
Great boxing out by the St. Catherine Wildcats players. Obioha and Romero, both of their guys, binabox out talaga yung kanya-kanyang assignments.
Oh man, I guess we just heard it. The first graduate of, I don't know if there's already been other graduates from the very first game day, but he is the first graduate of the FEBL Season 1 officially.
So Lionel Filon, talking about Lionel Filon, hitting the showers, well, hitting the bench early. I was going to say, hitting the shower. Hindi ka naman pwedeng mag-shower.
Man, and he really is needed by this team so much. But look at Bandojo absorbing his rebound. And that is very much necessary dahil 6 pa ang kanilang kalamangan. Encila finds Bandojo. And then to Patenia lights it up. Not gonna work. 3 Dolphins fishing for that rebound. It goes to Maliabo. And now it's Obioha again. Final 2 minutes called by Gio Cruz, our game announcer. Just 10 seconds to shoot for the Dolphins. They leave it to Bautista. And that is a foul called against Valdelovar. He couldn't believe it again. His hands were up. He thought about it.
John Mark Bautista.
That's 4 fouls now for Valdelovar.
So that's big because again, JP Valdelovar, he is one of the key contributors in this ball game para sa St. Catherine. And when I say key contributors, it's not going to show up on the stat sheet, but he has been doing those intangible things for the Wildcats.
Bautista making 1 of 2. Lead down to 5. CSC could waste the clock here, but hold up. That's a backcourt violation called against Ron Avery and Sila.
Crucial turnover by Ron and Sila. At this point, you gotta take care of the basketball. 1 minute and 35 remaining, 5-point lead.
Still a lot of time, but Sila redeems himself.
Right when I mentioned that you need to take care of the ball, the basketball at this point.
Now it's Valdelovar. Rekta kay Tubal. Kabantayan niya ngayon si Bautista. Haharapan. He finds Valdelovar for the 3. Not gonna work. Troy gets the rebound. Nagmamadali na naman siya. He tries to go at it. And is fished for a foul, but he couldn't believe it. I think that was Valdelovar called for the foul. And he might just go number 2, coach.
And when I say number 2, graduate number 2, not number 2.
Oh, man.
So that's the second player that's going to foul out in today's ball game.
Coach, that's how defensive-oriented this game has been. Fouls have been committed. Shots have been taken by a degree of difficulty.
And it reflects on the score. It's at 47-42. This is a defensive ball game that we're seeing.
Coach, the man on your screens right now, Castor Troy Manipolo, he hasn't made a single field goal in this game.
Caster Troy Manipolo. He's currently at
9 points.
9 points, but his field goals is at 0 for 7.
But hey, 9 points from the free throw line
Yes.
is really not so bad because
He'll
when you
take it.
take a look
Yeah,
at
he'll
it,
take it.
it's 47-44. They still have the lead whatsoever. PCU has done what seemed to be a mountain to climb.
They've
Bring-
slowly
Yeah,
bring
bring it
back,
this down to a single possession of a ball game. 47-44 is the score. A minute and 5 to go. A player from each team has fouled out. Key players as well. There's a lot of things that could still happen with a minute and 5.
It is what we call an eternity of basketball. 1 minute. 47-44, one possession ball game. There have been a lot of chances for the Dolphins to tie this ball game or to take the lead, and none more important than this fourth quarter with a minute and 5 seconds to go.
Their head coach Max Insila was telling the officials that they wanted to have the inbound right over there. Let's see if that's the best decision. So far, no steals. And there you have it, a turnover. Manipolo couldn't get the basket in. Miranda with a steal. Bodies on the floor. Insila against 3 Dolphins. Miranda, he gets it over to the other side, but that is an 8-second violation. He was a mini-second too late, coach. Man, I cannot believe my eyes just how defensive-oriented this game has been. I know that we've been reiterating it for the entirety of this game. Pero wala kasi, yun lang talaga masasabi mo eh.
It has been a chess match by both coaches, and it's quite interesting. No, these two coaches. I'll first start with CSE. That was what head coach Max Encila mentioned. During their practice, he focused on defense talaga because that gets their rhythm going. On the other end, focus rin on defense is what head coach B-Boy Simon says, and that's funny coming from, I wouldn't say it's funny, but coming from an offensive minded or a person or a player.
The shift, right?
Yeah, the player of the kind of player head coach B-Boy Simon was. He was an assassin when he was a professional, when he was playing pro. So right now, that's what that's what's happening. Defense is there. So
like what you said from the
game.
start, right? Like what you said from the start, they have to play on both ends of the floor. Different leaders this time.
Yes.
Para sa pangalawang laro nila parehas, there's Patenia, and then there's Obioha, and then there's Austria. Or should I say,
as number 21, Romeo Laguera. Didn't see action.
nah, that's Andre Carino. He didn't see action for the entirety of this game. And then all of a sudden, he got a 3.
None more important.
Miranda, can he line it up? It hits the front of the rim. Encila couldn't get it. Now it's Pascua with the runaway. Carino, just hot potato over there, and we are going to overtime, I believe. But hold up. My goodness, I couldn't believe my eyes. Coach Anton, Andre Carino, a player that has played the last 30 seconds of this game, has hit a shot that is worth 40 minutes of this game.
He could have won this ball game. Just couldn't get a handle on that leather. Oh my goodness.
B-Boy Simon, the head coach of this PCU team, just played a very risky move, and it had a very high reward as well. We're going to be back for more overtime action. And just like what our game announcer Gio Cruz has just mentioned, it is overtime. The very first one of FEBL Season 1 between CSC and PCU. The Dolphins have carved their way back into this game, and Encina, he wanted to shine, but unfortunately that's not how that ball is going to go into the basket. Instead, it's Manipolo getting his first field goal at overtime period.
All-important 2 points for Castor Troy Manipolo with that Pinoy step, getting that layup to go.
Patenia now, he's gonna try, and that is a foul. Aris Patenia has been the spark plug of this team from start to finish. Nung fourth quarter nga, coach, medyo naramdaman na niya yung pagod. He was asking for a sub, and hopefully he tends to feel a little bit better now, lalo na he's gonna need to play at least 5 minutes more.
Right in front of us is Carino. Talking to the referees.
Fresh na fresh pa,
Yeah,
coach.
fresh na fresh. Kayang-kayang sumabay kay Aris Patenia.
Kumbaga, si Coach B-Boy Simon naglatag na ng trap card eh. Ayaw gumana. Oh, what just happened? Aris Patenia.
Second win.
Oh man.
Wala yung pagod, no?
This guy just does not care. He doesn't care if he's tired. He does not care if the opponents are bigger than him. He's always gonna find a way. But finding a way was Manipolo to Pascua.
Talk about finding a way. That drop pass to Pascua in the middle, perfect for Manipolo.
Meeting in the air. Miranda going up against Romero. And usually Romero would win that one. But man, using the baseline and then catching Romero off guard. Miranda has been that guy.
Kurt Miranda getting that two-pointer to go with a chance for a traditional three-point play. Completes it. Man.
And now
we're
he
seeing
joins.
back and forth action.
Yep, he joins Patenia in double-digit figures for the side of the Wildcats. Meanwhile, Romero, he's gonna leave it for Pascua. Pero bago lahat ng yon, there is gonna be a foul called. And you know, since it's overtime, and both of these teams have already shared their penalty situations, it might have been carried over for this overtime period.
It does carry over. If you are in the penalty, it will carry over in the in this overtime period. That's a great handoff, fake handoff play by Mike Romero. He faked the handoff, decided to go strong to the basket.
And this time around, Mike Romero has been the star of game number 1. Let's see how he adjusted to the second game by some information brought to us by Ms. Angelica Sarmiento.
I just want to share how hardworking this young man is. Alam niyo ba, after their training sa school, Michael Romero just rest for a while and continue his own training in their basketball court at home. This guy is working non-stop. Maybe that's the reason it is very noticeable in his physics and moves. What do you think, Hans and Coach Anton?
Yeah, I mean, it's something that we have noticed for a very long time. And even though he's a rookie, you're right, Angelica, like, he has showcased yung level of game IQ niya. Something that hasn't really been showcased in the previous possession dahil yun nga nagkaroon ng miscommunication ng CSC. Manipolo, soft touch, and now they have the lead once again.
So now we're seeing PCU settling down and yung nerves. Medyo lamang dito talaga ang PCU because they're more of a veteran squad.
Masusubukan dito ang CSC. This is their first major run. They get it to Miranda, who tries to go at it. Patenia lines up, and that's a foul called against Manipolo. He couldn't believe it. Head coach B-Boy Simon also frustrated with the call. Manipolo feeling the same way. And looks like there is going to be somewhat of a review. They're going to try to figure something out. Both of the officials are talking to the head coach of the Dolphins.
Well, that's because Castor Troy Manipolo pleading his case, saying there was no contact. He made sure na hindi niya tatamaan yung shooter para sa St. Catherine.
And you know, there's been those kinds of conversations from start to finish because of how physical this game has been. You know, head coach Max Encila was also trying to plead this case kanina na yung depensa nga, 'di ba? Meanwhile, Coach B-Boy Simon was also doing the same.
He also mentioned talking about yung mga calls na ganyan, si head coach Max Encila, remember at the end of regulation, yung kamay ng referee nakataas na there was a foul daw. Pero it was deemed by the other officials na wala nang time when the foul was committed.
And you're right, it was the same, scenario for the side of CSC back when they were facing Angeles University Foundation na...
Oh, you covered that
right,
game.
Yeah, it was Ron Encila who took the last shot and it was a miss. But then Ron was pleading his case na dapat daw sana i-foul yun kasi got contact. But there was no longer time left to not only discuss it, but also to play. There was no longer any time to play. But this time, we have 2 minutes and 28 seconds, and I feel like this is infinity. if we're just gonna, bring it up. But coach, talk to me about these two teams. These two teams have just been nitty and gritty from start to finish. We have Eris Patenya here. We have Castor Troy Manipolo, who's made 9 points from free throws and 2 field goals in overtime. None from the regulation. 2 field goals from overtime.
And that is better time, this is the best time for it to come. No, I'm talking about Castor Troy Manipolo because they really need his offense at this point. He is their leader. He was the best player of the game in their last contest against RTU. So they're going to need a lot more from him, especially in this overtime period. Silang dalawa ni Mike Romero, they really need to step up in today's ball game. Now, Angelica did mention that Mike Romero does extra work at home.
Yeah.
And again, yung reps na ganyan will only get you better. So that's why you see it here on the court when he plays. You mentioned kanina, he has great court awareness. He has high basketball IQ. That's no doubt because of the reps that he gets. Reps that he gets.
Yup, and speaking of reps, our referees have repeatedly tried to discuss more on what was happened, and the challenge by head coach B-Boy Simon was deemed unsuccessful. This will now lead to 2 free throws for Aris Patenia. And as far as, you know, the other games have gone from him, his aspects of the game, this is an aspect that he has struggled to convert.
And not only him, but for the whole St. Catherine Wildcats team, they need to really work on their free throws.
Missing on both. 54 to 53. It is now the Dolphins of PCU who have the lead. Manipolo against Miranda. Gets a screen from Romero. Teardrop shot. Not gonna work. Maliabo with a soft touch. Also not gonna work. A foul is called. And an offensive foul it will be. The question is, kanino to mapupunta? 4th personal foul para kay Mike Romero. And it is also penalty situation. Man, just look at this, right? Ron and Sila kind of like isolating Aris Patenia because he's gonna go to the free throw line again.
And you see Christian Austria giving him a high five. Medyo may gamesmanship dito ngayon, Hans.
He was like, "Huwag mo na kausapin."
Oh, para naman kay Christian Austria. He's probably saying, "Supply mo na."
And there you have it.
Looks like it worked.
Hey, he talked to Ron. That was 1 point. Christian dapped him up. That was no point. So it's 1 for 1, right? Austria lines up a 3. That's money! Christian Austria for 3.
Cold-blooded 3 by Christian Austria, getting it off the wing. He can get that. He can get that shot off, and he can make those shots.
Patenia will try again. That was too much of a bump. He's down on the floor. It's not a good sign. It looks like a turnover. Or not.
He's holding on to his
his ankle, yeah.
Right ankle. And you like the sportsmanship being shown here by Caster Troy Manipolo, helping out Aris Patenia.
Just trying to bump. Out of all people, it was against Obioha. And he probably had a bad landing on the way to the basket.
I think the bump.
Yeah, and the
from
extra bump.
Obioha, yeah.
The extra bump didn't help it too.
Yes. So that's the reason why he sprained his right ankle. Very unfortunate. He's the one carrying the fight para sa Wildcats.
He's the best player on their team right now with 16 points to lead the College of St. Catherine. And, you know, it's not a good sign, unfortunately, to see him still on the ground.
Floor, yes.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
These are the kinds of things you don't want to see in a ball game. Injuries, something that we always, try to avoid as much as possible.
Like there it is, right? He tried to go at it. Unfortunately, it was a very awkward position.
Yes,
right? Parang hindi siya yung normal na approach mo papunta eh.
So it's one of those things really that you don't like to see in basketball games. You know, I'm going to be honest with you, Hans, I don't like watching injuries like on replays.
Nobody likes watching
I don't
injuries,
like seeing them. I don't like seeing it. I don't like watching the replays and all of those things because I don't know.
Yeah, I understand. I do understand. Well, let's hope for the best for Aris Patenia.
We hope he feels better soon. Talking about Aris Patenia.
Yeah, it's not looking likely for him to, come back in this game. So, Encila, Bulilis, Bandojo, Miranda, and Tubal will have to carry the stride. Not gonna work that time. It's Maliabo getting the rebound. This time Romero wide open. Just a sorry miss for Maliabo. He still gets his offensive rebound though. 10 seconds to go on the shot clock. Manipolo against Bulilis. Lights it up for Obioha. That big body is effective on the floor.
Carving space, Kenneth Obioha. Great pass by Manipolo. finding him underneath to get that 2 points to go.
Biggest lead by the side of PCU so far in this match. After a long while, they haven't led like this in a while kasi CSC lagi yung may hawak ng kalamangan.
CSC, biggest lead for PCU was at 3 points, and that was way back in the first quarter, 3-6.
Coach, at dito masusubukan ng CSC. They're trailing by 5. PCU was trailing by as much as 15. And they made a comeback. Now it's overtime, 1 minute and 5 to go. What could possibly happen here for CSC? This is a team that is not really used to major leagues.
It's funny that you mentioned that this is CSC. This is the only tournament so far for the year. So that's something that can be a factor for this St. Catherine squad.
And they got the possession right back to them. It's a 5-pointer that they're gonna have to chase, and they're gonna have to do it without one of their best players so far in this game, Eris Patenya, who has been, as I said during the start, a bona fide bruiser, but he can only take so much, right? If you go up against Obioha, that's a different issue.
Obioha, Romero, all those bigs, Failon.
There's a lot.
There's a lot of big bodies for the Dolphins that he had to go up against. And he did Yeoman's job. He was all over the court in today's ball game. He was all over the place, getting offensive rebounds, loose balls. So again, like what you mentioned, Hans, we're going to see how St. Catherine will get this. How we're going to get this lead back, or get this game closer, get a tie, maybe go for another overtime.
Yeah, honestly, we've seen the side of CSC trying to chuck up threes in this overtime. That hasn't been their game from start to finish. Maybe they will try again with this Bulidis 3. And that's 3-pointer number 4. Bulidis coming in handy. That's his second 3 of this game.
So Bulilis getting the job done in that 3-point.
But Obioha right there at the right time, just waving his hand, and Manipolo gets him in.
So Castor Troy Manipolo finding his teammate underneath, leaking out Kenneth Obioha.
This time it's Encila. Gets it to Tobal, finding some space. No good. Bulilis absorb it. He lands on the soft touch. 5 straight points for number 24.
A great offensive rebound by Bulilis, getting that one-handed floater to go inside to cut this lead down to just 2 points with 28 seconds to go, Hans.
So 28 seconds is remaining. We've went from 105 to 28, and only 2 points have been, disrupted or yung natapyas mula dun sa Kalamangan. There is still a chance for the side of CSC to have a possession if they play really good defense. The problem is penalty situation.
Yeah, but no need to foul. You have to just play straight up, honest defense. 28 seconds to go. Remember, 24 seconds in the shot clock if they decide to take it out from the baseline. But if they decide to take it half court, it's going to be 14 seconds. So 4 seconds will remain para sa shot clock.
Yeah, and they're only chasing a single possession.
Yes.
So they're going to be starting from the other side of the court.
That means 24 seconds will be in the shot clock para sa PCU Dolphins. 24 seconds to work with.
The Wildcat bench screaming for defense. And Obioha is going to be there again. He's the hot hand on the loose. He loses it. He gets it to the loose this time. Trying to protect the basketball. 10 seconds left. Miranda tries to go at it. Troy gets it to the loose again. He finds Obioha for the 3. Not good. 3 seconds left. Do they have time to do it? And they do not. that is the end of this game. And after 4 quarters and an overtime, PCU, who has trailed for almost the entirety of this game, made a sweet comeback, took control of business. Manipolo making it when it counts the most, and they have escaped the Wildcats 61-59.
Castor Troy Manipolo, that is correct. Making his presence felt towards the end of this ball game, getting those assists to go. But number 21, no, para sa PCU, getting them that 3-point.
That was Carino.
Yeah, Carino getting it to go to force overtime.
Oh man, what a game it has been. What an amazing moment it has been for them. And of course, highlights are showcased to you right now. Emotions are on an all-time high. At naramdaman natin yun from start to finish. The physicality and how this game has been played, Coach. I have no words else. I have nothing else to say. But just an amazing showcase here, especially from possibly our player of the game that we will witness in just a bit.
But it was a bit unfortunate towards the end of the ball game. The Wildcats were not able to get a shot off. No, sayang. They missed. PCU missed, but they weren't able to get an attempt.
And Coach, this is another heartbreaker for the Wildcats. This has been, I think, the score that they've had in their loss was 63-61. Now it's 61-59. It has always been 2 points. It has always been a single possession, and hopefully, right after this game, they can find themselves. They can find some room for improvement, because that is going to be the most important aspect. Diba? Alam natin na ito yung isa sa mga pinakabagong teams in a major league, and this is really good experience para sa kupunang ito.
Very, very good experience indeed.
I mean, we're really gonna have to, find how they can fare up against them, because as we mentioned, this is a double round robin that we will be seeing in just a bit, right? Posibleng comeback pa yan, but we are gonna be taking a look at our player of the game, kasama ni Miss Angelica Sarmiento.
Our best player of the game, scoring 8.7 rebounds. So Michael, congratulations sa'yo at sa PCU Dolphins. At dun sa overtime na yun, everyone felt the pressure at sobrang dikit ng naging laban. Sa tingin mo, paano nyo na ipanalo itong game na to at paano nyo na ibalik ang momentum?
Siguro kaya namin napanalo yung game is syempre yung tulungan ng team, and ayun lang, tuloy-tuloy lang yung ginawa namin na sipag sa depensa, kasi yung depensa naman nagpapanalo sa lahat.
And sa tingin mo, ano naman ang pinaka naging contribution mo in this game?
Ang naging contribution ko is yung maka-rebound and dumipensa sa team. Ayun lang.
Thank you so much. Baka meron kang gustong batiin or pasalamatan.
Shoutout po sa family ko and sa mga coaches ko and sa mga friends ko sa Rosario. Ayun lang.
Thank you so much, and once again, congratulations. Back to you, gentlemen.
Thank you po.
Maraming salamat to Miss Angelica Sarmiento, together with our best player of the game, Mike Romero, delivering the goods when it matters the most. Next matchup natin is going to be the Radicals of Polytechnic University of the Philippines going up against the Great Danes of Angeles University Foundation for game number 2. Coach, final thoughts about what happened in that first game?
We need, of course, for St. Catherine, they need to have more composure towards the end para naman sa ating PCU Dolphins. Kita mo talaga yung grit, the determination to come back and steal that win is there. So they just need to continue on with that.
The Dolphins extending their series 2-0. Meanwhile, falling once more are the Wildcats to 0-2. In behalf of Miss Angelica Sarmiento, Coach Anton De Los Reyes, my name is Hans Galeria. Magbabalik ang FEBL.